Trailer review. Wow. And Merry Christmas to me. All these good trailers coming out. Now, full disclosure, I've seen this trailer before because it was on my Facebook feed, and I was over here and I just started playing, like without my permission, continuously. But there's no sound. So this is my reaction to the sound that is associated with this trailer. So let's go. Trees. For millions of years. Trees. Something else besides trees.
Stand down. I'm not the one to fear, Prime. There is a darkness coming.
There's a darkness. Good old Mirage. One of my favorite from G1. And some Maximals.
Of all the threats, from both your past and future, you've never faced anything like this. Let them come.
Okay. Wow, so that's... Yeah, I still haven't seen Age of Extinction. So yeah, I was fine with the first 3 big budget Transformers movie. Second one is still my least favorite. I like it less than this one, which I haven't seen yet. But yeah, I was there for the original Beast Wars Saturday morning cartoon show. That show was more of a weekday cartoon show. Yeah, I was... That was an experience. That was a show that would actually read the news groups. I don't know if you're old enough to even remember what news groups were, but yeah, they were a way of connecting on the internet and posting bulletin board messages and having discussions. And of course, there was one for Transformers, rec.toys.transformers. And the people who wrote the show would post on there with the fans, the adult fans, obviously. And they would kind of hide little nods to the forum in the show. Which was, at the time, it was amazing because there was no real way to interact with people making a show. As they were making a show, there was like this wall. You know, no Twitter back then. You know? I think that show and Buffy the Vampire Slayer were the only ones that really had a notable, like, interaction between the fans and the people making it. And see, I was experiencing it live as it was happening. And I could go on for an hour for a podcast about that experience, but to see Optimus Prime and Optimus Primal both in a big budget Hollywood movie is rather impressive. Because there was a Japanese anime movie for Beast Wars. Beast Wars the Second. That I actually managed to get in a bootleg and a fan sub. It's no Miyazaki masterpiece, but for those of you that don't know, the Beast Wars was the turn. It's kind of the revival that brought Transformers back. Transformers was dead for quite a long time, and the original toy maker Takara had moved on to just making other similar robot toys for children with other shows. These were called the Brave Years, or the Yusha series. Every year they would come out with a new cartoon show and play it on Saturday mornings. And it would involve robots in some way. And every show was different, its own continuity, its own characters, universe, whatever. But they all had the word brave somewhere in the title. So this kind of associates them all together. So that was a good period of 9 years where not even in Japan could you sell Transformer toys to children, which was what we refer to as the dark times. But this Canadian show, Beast Wars, it brought it back. And I think it's because they cared so much about the fans and were willing to listen to them, not do everything they say, but because they listened to them and showed them that they cared, it kind of ignited the spark, no pun intended, that kind of started this whole revival, which of course eventually led to big budget Michael Bay movies. So for better or for worse. But you have no idea how popular this Canadian CGI animated show for Americans was in Japan. Like, I was there in the year 2000. I was in college. I was backpacking through Tokyo. Most college students backpack through Europe or something. I did Tokyo for obvious reasons. But yeah, they played it. They played it. They dubbed it. They had DVDs of it, DVD sets. They love it so much they actually. There were no clip show episodes in the original Beast Wars. They through the magic of editing created extra episodes of Beast Wars that were clip shows. That's how much they love the show. They just made extra episodes of it materialize. And they made spin-off shows that were exclusive to Japan. Like Beast Wars 2, No More Rule 2. They pronounced Beast Wars the Second. And which was cell animated, but it featured all of the action figures that they didn't have time to put in the CG show. Because CG was much more difficult to do back then. So they only had 5 characters on each side in the show. But of course, there were more than 5 toys. There was dozens of them. So they took all the action figures that didn't make it in the show, and they just made a separate show that featured them instead. And they called it Beast Wars Second. And that movie, that Saturday morning cartoon got its own movie in Japan. And the big ticket seller for that was that it had a cross-dimensional leap, and Optimus Primal guest starred in that movie. Oh my god. And now we've come full circle that the American Michael Bay movie series has gotten around all the way back to Optimus Primal and are putting him in a movie. So that's wow. So I guess I have to buy a ticket for this one because the last time Optimus Primal was in a theater, I bootlegged it. To be fair, it was a Japan exclusive movie. So I'm morally obligated to go buy a ticket and see this Optimus Primal in a movie. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, the designs of Transformers have gotten a lot better over the years. They're less busy. They don't like hurt your eyes as much when you look at them. Some of those early Transformers designs, there's like, what's the maximum amount of tiny parts we can put in this character, and just do that. No restraint.